by the end of June. That's the latest in Baghdad. Back to you.
David Lee Miller, thank you very much, David. Well, he is back. Former U.S. hostage Thomas Hamill back home in Macon, Mississippi. Hamill says he's looking forward to spending some quality time with his wife and kids. There is already talk of Hamill's Great Escape, the movie. The former hostage's mother says that her son has gotten mail about movie deals and other offers, too. But for now, Thomas Hamill's just keeping a low profile, trying to readjust to small-town life. Todd Connor with the Fox Report for us now live from Macon, Mississippi. Todd.
Hi there, Rick. Tommy Hamill's first day home after escaping his captors was spent with those he loves the most, friends and family, getting together for a picnic at his rural Macon, Mississippi home to help welcome him back from Iraq. His only interest on this day did seem to be spending time with his loved ones. His representative telling the media that he won't speak to the press until next week at the earliest. But his wife's parents did talk about their now famous son-in-law.
I could see the change in him physically, and not being fed like he is around here. We're just country people.
He has lost some weight,
but I think he's going to be okay.
Well, it's hard to believe that just 1 week ago, Hamill was being held hostage in the middle of Iraq. His brave escape to freedom very likely may have saved his life. So Tommy certainly has a lot to celebrate now that he's back home in Macon, Mississippi. He turned 44 on Thursday, and this weekend may very well be his best Mother's Day ever, which he plans to spend with his wife, his 2 kids, and his mother, who happens to live here at his home. Live in Macon, Mississippi, Todd Connor, Fox News. Rick.
All right, Todd, thank you. Here's a question for you. Who is watching our nukes? Well, the feds have suddenly realized that maybe we should take a look at that, given the current climate of the world. Energy Secretary Spencer Abraham says a major security overhaul is in the works for our nation's nuclear storage facilities. The new system is aimed at preventing any mistakes.
We all know that we've experienced a number of problems with lost keys and lost key cards. That is not an acceptable situation. It's also unnecessary. Put simply, I intend to do away with the use of mechanical keys as an element of our protection system.
Abraham says he hopes to get that keyless security system in place within the next 5 years. Mike Emanuel with the Fox Report now live from our Washington newsroom. Mike.
Rick, there's also talk of creating an elite unit like the Navy SEALs or even Delta Force with the mission of protecting this country's nuclear weapons assets and technology. The big concern for the Department of Energy is a dozen facilities with weapons-grade nuclear material. Energy officials say the bottom line is doing whatever it takes to keep these items away from terrorists. Officials are looking at better protecting information as well by moving the Department of Energy toward diskless computing. One reason the Los Alamos National Lab in 2000 made news when 2 computer hard drives were reported missing. The Secretary of Energy is also considering federalizing security forces working for the department. Right now, many of them are contractors. The Secretary wants to streamline operations and maximize accountability. Energy officials say they are concerned about bad results in mock security drills and, of course, those guards losing keys to secure areas. There's also discussion about reducing the number of sites storing special nuclear material, which is used for weapons. Department of Energy officials say giving a few locations the highest protection should increase the security of national assets. And the Energy Secretary says since the 9/11 attacks, for his people, protecting the country's nuclear resources has become job one. Secretary Spencer Abraham calling the people working at those facilities the custodians of national security assets that, simply put, must not be allowed to fall into the wrong hands. Rick?
Mike Emanuel, thanks.
Sure.
Another arrest in the Spanish train bombings. Authorities taking a Moroccan man into custody near Madrid. Police say his telephone number was found in the wreckage of an apartment building where 7 other suspects blew themselves up. 13 Moroccans are accused in that case, but that nation's police chief says there is no direct link between the Spanish attacks and homicide attacks a year ago in Casablanca, Morocco. Meantime, a Spanish newspaper reporting that police have serious doubts about fingerprints said to link an American lawyer to the bombings. Cops say that Brandon Mayfield's a, quote, person of interest in the case. His family insists he is innocent. A Fox Report now from Adam Housley live in Portland, Oregon. Adam.
Rick, that Spanish newspaper El País is reporting that investigators have doubts about Brandon Mayfield's connections to the March 11th attacks for two reasons. Their first concern is that there's no records of them ever having Mayfield visit Spain, and secondly, there are some discrepancies between the way the fingerprint was identified both by American authorities and also by Spanish authorities. Now, Brandon Mayfield was detained here in Portland on Thursday by the FBI as a material witness to the March 11th Madrid bombings. Of course, 191 people were killed, nearly 2,000 injured. According to Spanish authorities at that time, a fingerprint was discovered on a bag of detonators found inside a van parked at a Spanish train station where some of the trains left that day, and that was connected through Interpol to Brandon Mayfield. Now, according to American reports, the Spanish were the ones that pressured the U.S. for surveillance of Mayfield, and the Spanish were the ones that leaked the story to the press this week, prompting the FBI to detain him. Now, the family claims this is religious profiling by America and says it's also evidence that the Patriot Act doesn't work. A longtime friend and mentor, attorney Tom Nelson, says that Mayfield is innocent. That friend also went into this jail today and talked to Mayfield. He says Mayfield told him that he's happy about the Spanish newspaper reports, that he feels fortunate and blessed in his life. And also, Rick, he says that he at one time, when he was in the military, had top secret clearance back in 1989. Rick?
Adam Housley in Portland, thanks. They are World War II vets, patriotic men who parachuted into France on D-Day, and they have a plan to mark the upcoming anniversary of the invasion, but it's not going over too well with the Army, and we'll tell you why. You want some quick meals in your house, some easy things to whip up, right? Well, tonight, why researchers say you may want to think twice before picking up certain canned foods. Disney's delights are opening the doors to new possibilities, including a GPS right on your phone. Prototype for an unmanned space shuttle making a successful landing in Sweden. It was dropped from a helicopter 8,000 feet in the air. What makes this craft so cool? It's a glider. A spokeswoman for the project says the landing was perfect. The ultimate goal, a shuttle 6 times the size. That should take about 10 years. The next time you're at the supermarket, you might want to take a closer look at what you throw in your shopping cart. Scientists with the FDA testing a range of canned foods for a chemical that may cause cancer. Researchers say the chemical is produced at low levels when certain foods are heated up. Baby food, spaghetti sauce, and canned vegetables are some of the products that are under the microscope. For now, though, the FDA is not asking anyone to change their diet. They could kill you within seconds, but one guy didn't let a bear attack get in the way of his trip down the river. Looking for a job? Well, that shouldn't be too hard, and that's a good sign. But unfortunately, with the good news comes some bad news too. And just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, it is. Sure, there are some sharks swimming around, but these guys are actually your friends.
At 5 and 6.